we have Sri Shailendra Radhakrishna Binju ji, who is going to speak on the navigating success, the crucial impact of soft skills in supply chain management. A brief introduction about Sir. Shri Shailendra Binju ji is staying in Mumbai, Kandivali, and he has done his post-graduation MBA Marketing and MCOM from Mumbai University and PG Postgraduate Diploma in Foreign Trade from World Trade Institute.
So friends, what I was discussing that today the customer is become very much demanding and he need the product as per his requirement. Unless you have a sharp knowledge about the logistics and supply chain management, it becomes very difficult for the supplier to fulfill the requirement of the customer. So let us try to understand first what is logistics and supply chain management. The logistics is nothing but it is balancing between time and cost. If you know how to balance in these two words, basically you know what is logistics. It means that when the customer need material urgently, you have to make a timely delivery. And in that case, you will have to incur some extra cost. And don't consider that extra cost as a cost. It is an investment. So that is the reason we should always try to balance between time and cost. And that is the skill what you should have so that you can deliver product to the customer well in time. Logistics has 6 functions. The first is transportation. Second is inventory management. Third is warehousing. Fourth is material handling equipment, packaging and information technology. So logistics cost is nothing but it is the total cost of all these functions. Transportation cost is the highest cost in international trade because our focus will be international trade. The reason being that the distance is very long. You may not know that you may get inquiry from Mexico. So the transit time to Mexico is very high, which is about 50 to 60 days. So no doubt the cost also will be high. So and you have to understand the transportation very much in detail if you want to optimize your logistics cost. Inventory management, this is the second function. There is a concept of maintaining the inventory. A very simple principle of inventory management is that too much inventory is a cost and too less inventory is a stock out. So the organization should always focus on maintaining the optimum level of inventory. It may be for the raw material, it may be for the work in process, or it may be for the finished goods. Warehousing. Warehousing has become a need of the hour because the customer has lost his patience and he needs the product whenever it is required. That is the reason I have given you an example that the customer says, I need 60 bearings per day at 8 o'clock in the morning. The supplier is in India and the customer is in, let's say, Eugene, France. So in that case, unless the supplier has a warehouse in France, he can't deliver the 60 bearings per day at 8 o'clock in the morning. The fundamental principle of warehousing says the warehouse either should be closer to the customer or closer to the post. When you have to deliver on every day, the warehouse should be closer to the customer. Next is material handling equipment. Material handling equipment plays an important part in logistics because the delivery can get late, delivery can get postponed because of breakdown of material handling equipment. So the organization should focus on maintaining the material handling equipment in such a way that they should have annual maintenance plans so that their material handling equipment should work smoothly so that there should not be any breakdown or delay due to problem in the material handling equipment. Packaging. Packaging, there are 2 types of packaging. One is marketing packaging and the second is logistics packaging. Logistics packaging means it is a bundle of marketing packaging, consumer packaging. But since consumer products, there are 2 types of packaging, but in industrial product, generally the logistics packaging plays important part. The customer today needs minimum packaging, but the exporter has to ensure that the product should reach safely to the customer without any damage or without any breakage. And for that reason, the exporters have to focus on developing the innovative packaging. With minimum packaging material, the product should reach in the hands of consumer in safe and sound condition. Last but not the least, information technology. Information technology is integrating all these resources. So the organization should try their level best to use the maximum information technology so that they can get the best of the output with minimum resources. So when I say logistics cost is the total of all these functional costs. Then I said it has a direct relationship with the supply chain management. A lot of people get confused between supply chain management and logistics. See, supply chain management is a bigger picture and logistics is the part of supply chain management. So logistics take integral part of the supply chain management. Now here you can see there is a supplier. Supplier A is supplying to B. B is adding some value, supplying to C. C is adding some value. And finally, the product is reaching in the hands of consumer. So all this connection between A to B, B to C, C to D, E and F, there is a linkage, and this linkage is a logistics. So if this link is weak between A and B, which is the logistics, that's a physical flow of product, automatically the entire chain will break. And that is the reason to make supply chain management stronger, your logistics should work stronger. Let's try to understand what is the difference between hard skill and soft skills. Now, what is hard skills? Hard skills are specific abilities, capabilities, and skill sets that an individual can possess and demonstrate in a measured way that can be measured. Hard skills are learnable skills that enable individuals to perform job-specific tasks. That means whatever job you are doing, you have to become expert of that job, or that may be required for a specific job. Hard skills don't translate into success, as employees also need other skills such as soft skills. You may be graduated as a first-class engineer, but it doesn't mean that you are going to be successful in a career or in your life. The reason being that unless you have soft skills, you can't reach to the top. So my purpose of saying is that soft skills are sometimes in today's world are more important than the hard skills. So it is no doubt we are qualified person, we have all qualified skills. We must have excelled in our academic careers. You may be having a sufficient experience, but it doesn't mean that unless you focus on developing your soft skills, it becomes difficult to survive and succeed in today's corporate world, and that is global corporate world. Soft skills, hard skills can be quantified. For example, a hard skill might be proficiency in a second language, while a soft skill could be the ability to work well on a team. See, when I say that I know about 4 to 5 languages, that is my strength. And that is the reason today I go to the market and handle my domestic trade in Maharashtra, because I have a control over my second language. But it doesn't mean that I have a mastery. I should know how should I talk to customer differently. That is more important. Hard skills are technical skills needed to perform a job or land a new one. They are typically industry specific. For example, a financial analyst would need a different set of hard skills from a carpenter. No doubt, that is the reason that different people have the different quality of working, and they are professional in particular field. Some may be good engineers, some may be good financial consultant, some may be very good in HR. So they are very good in their day-to-day professional work, but they also have to be good in the soft skills. But hard skill can also be valuable across industries. For example, fluency in second language could potentially benefit both the analyst and the carpenter. Hard skills focus on practical abilities and skills, whereas soft skills focus on behaviors and personalities. How you behave with the customer, how you deal with the customer, how you deal with your colleague, that is more important than having the command over the language, command over the subject. Soft skills are less tangible and harder to teach. See, soft skill, I can say that you can go to engineering college, you can learn engineering, you can become a chartered accountant, you can become a cost accountant, you can become a financial consultant by learning, you can become a good lawyer. But it doesn't mean that when you go in a practical life, unless you have a good soft skills, the success will not be there. I've seen lot many places. There is one well qualified doctor and he doesn't have any patient, but an MBBS doctor is having a queue of the patients because that MBBS doctor, no doubt he may not be qualified, but his soft skills may be so strong that the patients must be prefer to visit him. No doubt for this is just a general sickness. But the purpose of saying is that if your soft skills are strong, then automatically your hard skills also get sheltered sometimes. Even if you are at a medial scale, you must not have performed very well in your college. No doubt you could have been at a medium level, but if you have a soft skill, command over your soft skill, definitely you will have edge over your colleague. And that is the reason I have always been telling people that don't ignore the soft skills. Time management. See, we all are from Mumbai. I think some of you may be attending from some other place, and we are very much time calculated personality because I think most of us we travel by train. And that is the reason time management is very, very important because as I've told you in logistics and supply chain management, 1 hour delay is equivalent to 7 days delay. So every minute and the second is very, very important. And if you do not know the value of time, you won't be able to manage any shipment, whether it is for import, whether it is for export, whether for inventory or any task and activity. A logistics person should and the supply chain person should value time, and you just keep a target that how he has to finish the task so that he can fulfill the goal set by the organization. Planning, as I've discussed, that in international trade we have to go for a backward planning rather than the forward planning. In the domestic trade, what happens that you have a long window for delivery schedule, but in international trade you get an order from the customer, they give the delivery cycle, the period of delivery 1 week, Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 4:30. They give the time also. So if you have to fulfill that target, unless you do a backward planning, it is not going to serve a purpose. And as I said, when you do a backward planning, you have to keep a margin. Delegation. I already discussed delegation. Delegation is the most important soft skill one should possess in logistics and supply chain management. Because see, as a leader, I won't be able to do all the activities because our company, like we are exporting 250 containers. So I can't keep track of each and every container. So unless I delegate the task, unless I delegate the work to my team, and for a delegation, what should I do? It is not just delegate the task. First, you train your team members, educate them, explain them. I've seen so many leaders, they just give the task to the subordinate and then tell them to do it. I will call my subordinate, sit with him for 5 minutes, explain him with the speed which is digestible to the subordinate. It is not that I will explain him with my speed. I will have to explain him in such a way that, and then finally ask him, any doubt, please ask me. And the moment he says, yes, I have understood it, then I have to forget it. But when I've given a task, it doesn't mean that I should forget. I should also keep on reminding whenever I need to, unless that work get done. So delegation is very important. So many people I've seen, they don't delegate. They want to keep it to them because they think that if I delegate, I will not have any work. I'll tell you, it is the other way around. The more you delegate the work, the more work will come to you. Adaptability. Adaptability means you should be in a position to adjust into any atmosphere. Like logistics and supply chain management, sometimes we even don't get food because we are on the check 24/7, 365 days we'll have to work. So unless you adapt yourself, sometimes we will have vada pav, sometimes we will have biscuits because at port sometimes nothing is available. That means you should be flexible and you should be adjustable, adapt to the atmosphere. Then and then only you will be able to complete the task or the challenges being faced by the individual. Open mind, acceptance. Acceptance means a lot of people, they don't accept their mistake. It is better with clean heart, accept whatever is being given. And so many times you become rigid. But number one, sometimes you have a closed mindset. And if somebody is suggesting any activity to you, somebody is giving a better idea, you should listen to it and you should accept it. Suppose I am working with one mindset to handle the shipment, but my logistics service provider is giving me the better solution. I will first listen to the logistics service provider and then I will accept his idea, so that I know that his thinking may be far deeper and better than me. I must have skipping something, though that is doing it. And for that reason, for acceptance of anything, you should have open mind. As I've told you that you should not have the closed mind. Open mind people will always progress. The closed mind people will never progress. That is the reason, if you have an open mind, definitely you will accept and you will learn more and more things. Curiosity. Curiosity means whenever management gives me any new task, I'm very curious to learn it. I don't take it as a pain, because if you take it as a pain, you will not be able to learn it and you won't be able to do it. And once you have a curiosity to learn, that is the next point only, willingness to learn, you may not be able to grow and you won't be able to develop the topic. Like when I was developing this topic, I have taken the risk. I said, let me try it, because although soft skill is not my area, but I said, let me try, because whatever I have learned, let me try and make an attempt. And then I've given so many sessions on this, and everywhere it is being accepted. So that is the reason, first you should have a curiosity to learn and then willingness to learn. It doesn't mean that, oh, I know everything. Although I've completed more than 4 decades in the industry, but I always try to learn and try to learn from the lower level people. I talk to taxi wala, I talk to, in fact, ship guy, I talk to everyone. And every human being has something to be teaching. And that, if you have that habit, more and more you talk to people, more and more you observe, definitely you will have more knowledge and more ideas, insights in your mind. Innovation. Innovation means always be innovating. Try to have new ideas implementing. Problem solving. Problem solving means if you get stuck, don't lose your heart. Keep on trying. And the next is transparency. Don't tell lie. If you're transparent to your seniors, if you're transparent to your juniors, I'm going to 100% sure that you're going to get the better result rather than if you are not transparent. See, because when you are transparent, you don't have to make a sub-plan. Because if you tell somebody any lie and if you don't hide, sometimes you miss out giving some important instruction to your subordinate, because you don't want to be transparent with him. And that instruction is very, very important instruction. And then he will make mess of it because you have hidden the very important information. Confidence. When I say confidence, you should not have overconfidence. Sometimes people fail because they have overconfidence. One should not have underconfidence or overconfidence, but one should be confident. Confident in completing his task. They should know that whatever task they are doing, suppose I'm dealing with the customs department, I have to meet customs officers. So I should thoroughly understand the problem, and I should be confidently I should enter to the cabin of the customs officer. Because when I'm talking to him, he will see to it My confidence. The moment he see that I myself not is not confident what I'm saying, definitely he will not listen to me. So always be confident in your walking, talking. Then and then only the people will take your verdict on a face value. They may not ignore you. The confidence can be seen from your face, from your walk, from your talk. So be confident. Critical thinking. Critical thinking means first you observe and then try to apply. Just don't be with a closed mind. Integrity. You should be very sincere and hard work to your work. Self motivation. Sometimes we get disappointed if the task is not getting completed. I was supposed to target a vessel, but I could not manage it because it was not in my hand. And then suddenly you get a firing from the management. So you have to motivate yourself that it was not your fault. It is the because things were not in your control. So self motivation means whenever you get disappointed, rather than going to people, you should have your inner energy to self motivate so that you become again at the same level. Reliability. Always behave like a reliable person and always deal with a reliable person. Like when I say reliability in logistics and supply chain management, reliability is most important because you have to select your vendors in such a way that you can rely on them. When you have given them any task to your logistics service provider, they should be able to perform. And if they are reliable, I'm sure there are no chances of failure. Now, this is the last slide of the day. Why should we have a soft skill requirement in the international trade? No doubt it is required everywhere. But why we should have? Because what is the customer expect in logistics performance? The first is reliability. That is what I said. Be a reliable supplier. Don't lie to the customer. If you're not able to deliver, if you're not able to ship the goods by particular vessel, you tell the customer so that customer get prepared. And if you give him a wrong information, the customer will depend on you. And when you are suddenly going to give him a shock, it will be too late. Responsiveness. As I've told you that always be responsive to your customer, to your colleague, to your juniors, to your seniors. And responsiveness, send an entry message so that at least he knows that you have registered your communication. Access, always be accessible to the customer and your team members. Communication, the customer, as I told you that try to communicate with the customer, and the communication is also a skill, and that is the reason written communication you should follow the pattern of 4 C's. Credibility. If the try to give the as much as information to the customer whenever he is asking, because it improves your credibility. Security. When the customer is talking to you in logistics and supply chain management, your language of your message should be such that he should feel that he is in a secure hand. When he is giving you order, you are going to fulfill that commitment and order. So security. Customer always feels that he is secured if he has given you the order. Courtesy. Always be courteous to your customer. Ask your team members to be courteous. Even we have to, as a logistics person, have to be courteous with all the logistics service provider. Competency. Be competent. When you can become competent? When you have a good knowledge about your work as well as you are competent in soft skills, tangibles. Knowing the customer. Always don't treat all the customers the same way. Different customers have to be handled differently, and that is what is the neck of the soft skill. Deliverance. Finally, the customer wants delivery in time, in right price, right place, right quantity. And for that reason, unless in global supply chain management in today's corporate world, if you want to succeed, if you want to become a good logistics person or an employee or employer or the service provider, unless you have the soft skill quality, I don't see any hope for the growth. Thank you very much. I've tried my level best to give you the input in 1 hour's time. Thank you. Thank you very much for the organization, for Genu Technology, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this session. Thank you.
Hi, all. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, my name is Rakesh. Actually, I am working for the UK-based company. It is located in Dubai, Petrasco Energy Logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps it's such a good and fantastic session for all the logistics enthusiasts.
Okay.
Yes. You carried out my all the doubts. Actually, we are handling the oil and gas products.
Okay.
Yes, sir. What is my responsibility is to generate the material receipt and have to send the MR to my client. So, actually, I am facing one challenge is I could not manage the time and send all the MRs to my client. So, what are the factors I have to concentrate in the logistics that point, sir?
See, as far as time management is concerned, I just want to check from you, are you maintaining a daily planner?
Yes, sir. Yeah, in Excel. Yeah.
In Excel. Okay. So I'll tell you, it is not possible all the time to complete the target which you keep on a daily basis, on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But the most important in logistics and supply chain management is prioritize the work. I hope you have understood. Prioritize the work.
Yeah.
Your priority in logistics and supply changes every minute, every second. And that is the best thing if you can do, if you prioritize your work. And if you have to suddenly rush to the port, suddenly rush to the site, try to keep your team members ready.
Okay.
Try to delegate work as much as possible and try to keep some key areas under you. Try to delegate the team members. Have faith in them. Even if they make mistake, they will make mistake once. But if you train them properly, there will not be any issue. So try to delegate, try to motivate your team, try to train them. Then you will have a sufficient time to look after the critical tasks.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So, and definitely then you will have a sufficient time to manage the activities. What people do, I'll tell you, how they miss out on time. Because they want to keep everything to themselves. It is highly impossible. You can't handle it. And you have to develop your team. Once you develop your team, definitely you will have a sufficient resources. Try to utilize your resources. Try to develop a system. I always tell people that first develop a system and then let the system work. You don't have to work. Let the system work. And once you develop a system, develop a process, develop a system, develop SOP, and let that work. But you only have to ensure that whether the system is working correctly. So many times when there is a mistake, when something has happened, I always found that the system is not being followed. The first, you set the system and let the system follow. Automatically, everybody will work as per the system. So you don't have to bother.
Yeah.
I think this is what my suggestion, and I'm sure that it's going to give you a better time management.
Yeah, sure. Sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. It was an excellent lecture that we all heard from you, and I think this particular course is issue that the 4C abbreviation that you created. I think that's a very important part of any communication in any company. In fact, I think all emails in the company should start with the greetings of the day or something like that. Exactly. Note which should be standardized across companies, like a template. And working in different time zones, I think instead of saying good morning, good evening, or anything, I think we have institutionalized this in many places, and it really works wonders. as you
Yeah,
suggested.
definitely.
It really cools down the temperature of the discussion, because it really suits the customer. However angry he is, I think this is a very important point that youngsters should be actually doing by habit, even in personal mails. So I think this is a very good point, sir. But I am only looking at the broader perspective of the logistics industry, particularly in a country like India. So what is happening today that do you visualize in 5 years time or maybe lesser, that the whole logistics across companies from small scale to large scale to exports would get outsourced in a way to larger companies who may need only some front ends in the company, and the logistical staff in individual companies may not last, because the way the companies are operating today, like Amazon or Alibaba, it's really mind-boggling how they're operating. So will they in due course eat away these jobs in India? What is your take on that?
See, I'll tell you, Mr. Anil. See, India has a long way to go, and I'll tell you. See, when I have joined this company in 1983, I was actually handling the finance. Then I have been shifted to domestic marketing. In fact, in my company also, that time there was no logistics department. Now I am the head logistics. It's a function. So day by day, people are realizing the importance of logistics and supply chain management. Lot many people still do not know logistics and supply chain management. When I talk to them, they say, "Oh, you are a transporter. You're working in a transport company." They mean logistics mean transportation. There is a lot of misconception, but day by day, people have understood the importance of this. And there is a long way to go, and there is a lot of scope in logistics and supply chain management industry, and there will be I do a lot of trainings, and still people are keen to learn this field, and people want to make their career into this field, because earlier it was not organized, but gradually it is now becoming organized. So whether at a small level or a high level, the demand definitely will be there in logistics and supply chain, and India definitely have a bright future in logistics and supply chain management. Now it's going to take some time, but now the speed is picking up, and we are getting good people and good intellectual to handle the logistics and supply chain management. So definitely there is a good future for this at a small level as well as at the bigger level.